So as I do with all my phone reviews, I want to give my disclaimer. I used this guy for 7 days since the launch day as my daily driver, and I tested it using AT&T in Southern California. We did a full review of iOS 7, so I'm not really going to focus on how the OS works, but more on how it works with the device and not critique iOS 7 so much itself. Let's jump in and talk right about hardware. So cosmetically, this is pretty much an iPhone 5. It feels exactly the same, just with a different color palette. Obviously, though, there are huge differences that go well beneath the surface here. So let's talk about the biggest one of the upgrades, and that's that home button right there, Touch ID, the fingerprint scanner. Setup in typical Apple fashion is crazy easy. Just a few taps and you finger on the home button and you're pretty much all set. I really like the idea in the implementation. Apple put it front and center of the phone, making it really difficult to not at least try out. You put it on the back like another device, you might not use it. Really, I bet everyone who's picking up an iPhone 5S at least gives it a shot. So to use it, you actually do a few ways. You can either push the home button all the way down, or you can just leave your finger right on top of it. Either way will unlock it. It worked pretty well registering my fingerprints, on average about 6 out of 10 times, which seems to be on par with most people's experiences. If yours varies, I'd love to hear it. Leave it in the comments down below. If you're used to using a password on an older iPhone, the 4 times you have to enter actually your PIN code won't bother you. But if you just use to unlock your phone and go, you might find it really annoying. But you really should have a password on your phone anyway, so let that be a lesson to you. Password your phone. I like the iTunes integration, but for me, Touch ID is more about the future than simply about just unlocking your phone. Should Apple ever decide to open up the APIs, remembering passwords will be a thing of the past. Imagine just buying things on your phone, not remembering any password, just holding your finger right over the home button and just get everything. You don't have to remember your iTunes password, you don't have to remember your Amazon password, whatever it might be. Just all you need is this guy that's always attached to your hand. An odd omission for me on the iPhone 5S, though, is 802.11 AC. Apple's Airport Extreme base station ships with it, and it's filtered down to the laptop line, so why not on this guy? It's becoming way more standard on other devices. This is one really big head scratcher. So it's really impossible to talk about the A7 and M7 with any authority. Nothing currently written takes advantage even remotely of any bit of power there. Benchmarks show it's at least as powerful, if not more powerful, than the current leader, the Snapdragon 800. So suffice it to say, it's a freaking fast phone. I'm sure though as more apps come out to take advantage of the processing and motion power of the 5S, we'll see a huge difference. But in everyday usage, it felt the same speed-wise as the iPhone 5, which to me never felt like a slow phone at all. There's not much to talk about screen-wise. It's still the same 4-inch screen with the 326 ppi as the iPhone 5 that came before it. I usually gloss over camera in my reviews because for me, it's still a camera phone. As good as they look on my screen, and Facebook is really mostly all I care about. I'm usually pretty happy with just that. But I've had requests to focus more on it, so I'm a man of the people, so let's rock. The new dual 2-colored LED flash is actually pretty awesome. Shots in low light with the flash on look way less washed out, like night and day, pun intended. Full images in the written review if you want to take a look at it, which a link will be down below. You can see what all those looks like, flash on, flash off, wax on, wax off. On a side note, I don't really like the camera UI all that much. For reason it was just very unintuitive for me, but personal preference there. On the surface though, you might say the camera is the same as the iPhone 5, which seems to be a theme here. They both have the same 8-megapixel shooter, but that's really not the full story at all. The larger pixels on the 5S do create more vibrant images showing brighter colors and darker blacks, but it's still the camera phone, so don't leave your DSLR at home, but it's good enough to show mom and dad a picture of your brand new baby, for example. Let's jump into battery life. Battery life on the iPhone 5 was always okay. Good enough to get me through a whole day, but just never class leading. It's largely the same on the iPhone 5S, but about 5 to 10% worse, so keep that in mind. So my general usage, I'll take the phone off the charger around 7 a.m. Usually I make 2 to 3 hours. Phone calls, it's always connected to Wi-Fi, pulling down 2 email addresses, about an hour or so of video watching thrown in there, texting, social media, and some games thrown in there. And usually, I get sometimes around 30% at the end of the day, which again is about 5 to 10% less than the iPhone 5S. And I've been using this guy pretty heavily, taking tons of baby pictures. So I can say that with authority. Next, let's talk about software. And I promised I wasn't going to review iOS 7, but I do got to talk about the OS on the phone. It's different. And I'll give Apple credit. People want it different. The UI on iOS 7 has been super polarizing, obviously to say the least. But I fall in the camp that just likes change, even if it's just for change's sake. So for me, it's kind of welcome. There are a whole bunch of design cues throughout this whole thing. The frosted glass, for example, is a nice touch. There are parts like the calendar that put design way before function. It's usually the other way around, so kind of interesting to see Apple take that approach. Are some good things though. Siri's way better and almost on par with the kick-ass Google search, and also she can be a dude now. So what's the conclusion on the iPhone 5S? This is clearly the best iPhone ever made, and it's been the case with every flagship iPhone since 2007. It brings some new and welcome design things to the table in the form of Touch ID, processing power, horsepower, colors, and camera. Apple seems to really focus on refining their software features, not adding a whole bunch of new ones like Samsung does with iterations of the Galaxy. For me though, it really depends on what you like and need. So there's very little reason to upgrade from the iPhone 5. By the time apps come along that take advantage of the A7, M7 combo, the iPhone 6 will probably be on the horizon anyway. I'd only upgrade if you have to have the latest tech toy available or need that better camera flash combo or just really dig gold. If you have an iPhone 4S earlier, jump on in. You'll get all the great features of the iPhone 5 plus some new things for the 5S. Your best bet though is probably to wait for a redesigned iPhone 6. And I know it seems weird to say wait for an unannounced device till a year or more away, but I just don't see anything must have on the 5S that you really can't get on the combo of the iPhone 5 and iOS 7. So the final verdict on the iPhone 5S gets a very solid 8.5. It's a great phone and a very good evolution of the iPhone line. Let's hear your guys' thoughts. Leave in the comments down below. Do you love the iPhone 5S? Has it met your expectations? It exceeded them with gold unicorn rainbows? Or has this design disappointed you, or you just have no interest in it at all and you want to wait? I want to hear your thoughts. Please let me know. Comments down below, and of course check out the full written review. Link is also down in my pants to see all the images and a ton more detail about the iPhone 5S. Until next time, I am John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. Check out that website for the latest and greatest tech news, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
What's up, everyone? It's Ashley. Thanks so much for watching that most recent video. If you enjoyed it, please click on the word subscribe right underneath me to get tons of more tech videos from us here at Techno Buffalo. We have got unboxings, comparisons, reviews, recaps, and everything else you can think of here on the channel. If you're in the mood for more technology, just click right over here to check out some of our most recent videos. See you next time, humans.